So I want to kind of set the tone a little bit. We're getting you ahead of your huge historic title fight against the undefeated Bellator middleweight champion, Johnny Eblen. You're actually going to be challenging him for his title at the PFL versus Bellator champs card in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on February 24th. So that's kind of what you're here for. But just beforehand a little bit, I wanted to kind of gather a few thoughts on you becoming the champ and all that. So, like, before your fight in, what was it, November, right? November 31st?
November 24th.
Yeah, something like that, right? The week before
Black Friday. Black Friday 2023.
Right. And so you were getting a lot of hype because of your story, right? Which is in our last interview if people want to check it out. Okay, so also you said how you were living in your car and shit. So that's true, huh? You were homeless for a little bit, maybe after you got released from UFC?
Yeah, it was not really just released from the UFC. Like, it was the UFC, that was fine a little bit because I had some money saved up, but it just started raining away, and then I was like, okay. And then I was doing this, like, executive protection job and all that stuff, but they wanted me to pick between that and fighting. And that was the agreement when I first started, because it's not like bodyguard work or bouncing. It was pretty, like, high-speed stuff, so it was pretty solid money. At the same time, they wanted all my time. And that's not the case. So I walked away. I was like, guys, no. Like, I know I'm called to fight. I'm patiently waiting for the next one, and impatiently at times too. And I still had clients and I still did that, but I didn't want to waste my money because I didn't know when the next fight was going to be. So I was like, whatever. Like, parked in the gym parking lot. I had my motorcycle and my bike. I'd wake up in the morning. I'd go shower at the gym, train, go back, ride my motorcycle around for a while, come back at night. And yeah, I mean, it's funny. It wasn't easy, and it wasn't like glorious. I think I had a solid attitude about it. That's maybe what helped. But I was patiently waiting. I knew I couldn't go back to North Carolina. I knew I couldn't. Like, I knew why I came down here, and also, like, I didn't just come to Florida for nothing. So it was like, be patient, stick through it, get better. I mean, it helped me because I would go hit the bag in the mornings. I would go train. I didn't have really far to go when I wanted to wash my clothes.
Seriously.
Whenever I needed to wash my clothes, I just go by this laundromat, and I was good. And my favorite Irish pub is right there, so I just go chill, get fish and chips. So, like, I was good, but it wasn't the best situation, obviously. I knew I could take care of myself, like, I could protect myself, all that stuff. But it was interesting. And then one day, Henry, who was my coach, was like, I didn't tell anybody. So he just walked by, and the security that patrols the gym was like, there's somebody in the car. And yeah, he contacted one of my teammates, Marquez, who's an amazing guy. And I showed at his house, on his couch for a while, living a lavish life with AC. And then I won a fight. I fought Jared Gooden. A couple weeks later. And then things started taking off, and I was waiting for a while, and I was on the farm and all that. So, like, it was kind of like a cool time to be isolated when I look back on it. If you say, do you want to go through it again and revisit that? No. But I'm grateful for that time.
Going into that fight, were you feeling a lot of that energy and support going into it? Other times you could feel pressure. So kind of how are you feeling going into that title fight?
Man, I was at peace. Definitely a lot of love, support, prayers, for sure felt. I'm not worried at all. And it's like, let's go get this done. Let's go do it. This is what we came here to do, prayed for. I had a great family, great team, a great God, most importantly, right? I had huge support staff. I was awesome. I got to spend Thanksgiving with people that I love. Yeah, my brother, I spent with my family for the first time in a long time. And my brother's a basketball coach at the University of Tennessee, so I got to see him after. But still, it was a great time. I was more so, like, ready to get into it and do what I love. So, like, going into that fight, yeah, like, there's no negative pressure. Nothing bothering me. If somebody wants to say hello. 1 second.
Okay.
1 second. Look at this guy.
Is that a beacon?
Look at this guy. He just woke up from... That's Beacon. Say
hey,
hi,
buddy.
He just woke up from a nap. We're getting ready to travel later, and he just wanted to hang out, I guess.
Dang, he's a cutie. What kind of dog is he?
He's a Belgian Malinois.
Okay.
So he's on his nap time right now, so I guess I'm off his trade now. But yeah.
Beautiful dog.
He just wanted to hang out with us. Thank you. Yeah. So, yeah, man, going into that fight, I was so at peace and prepared, filled with discipline, focused in, and I was like, but uh, oh God, I was like, man, I'm about to do what I love one more time at the end of the year. I said, how cool is that? And that was that. It wasn't like, oh, a title, oh, $1 million. It was like, let's go get it. I know it's ours. We won. Let's go claim this victory that's already ours, and let's move forward.
Yeah. So also like throughout that whole week, you kind of almost seemed like you were on cloud nine in a sense, like not really on the same like in the same what would you call it, wavelength as everyone else. Were you feeling that too, kind of ahead of it and like just kind of like fulfilling a destiny, but like on a mission almost too in a weird way?
Yeah, I'm on a mission for sure. And the mission, it's not over. There's days where I was like, okay, this is part of it, but yeah, like in a different dimension.
Like the presence and the calmness really stood out to me, I guess.
I appreciate you. It's such a peaceful place for me to fight, and it's like when you prepare and you do right and you train. I don't say everybody say you do everything right. No, that's not the case in life. It's more like I know I'm meant to be here, and I'm gonna own this moment. I'm gonna love it. There's so much that's gone into it. There's so much that'll come after it, and I'm blessed to be alive. I'm blessed to be here. I'm gonna embrace it. And that was like that. And I'd say like the walkout song is goodness of God. And just like I was like saying God's goodness then, God's goodness before, and God's goodness after. And that's like it's just this peaceful place. And like I'm always there. So that's what I tell people, like, you have to flip that switch now. It's like the switch is always on. That switch is always on. Like I'm like, if told me to fight today, I'm ready. Told me to fight yesterday, tomorrow, like let's go. And I appreciate you noticing that.
Yeah.
It's a testimony to going through everything that came before that.
Yeah, definitely. Was it so you kind of attested to maybe your faith in God and like your Christianity and stuff like that, or what kind of gives you that calmness when you're going in there to fight? Because also you've been through a lot, kind of living by yourself, so you might have a different like gratefulness, as far as like living out of the car and just having this opportunity to go fight for that money and stuff and travel the world, all that.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's a great point. Like for me, it's like, man, you go in your car, you're chilling in life, you've been through it all. You get bit by dogs. you go through like
You're talking about
it's one of
Impa
those things I'm like,
or not Impa, but Themba?
Themba? What happened with
Oh,
him?
because you said you got bit by dogs, so he has like a story about that. But you got bit by dogs too?
Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm saying
Oh.
Beacon was biting me now. Sorry, Sam. I'm being facetious.
For sure.
No, I didn't know that happened to them.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. But no, like, man, like you go through all that stuff. You go through like, you're in your car, you're this, you think you're about to get married. You have all these different like things in life. You're like, oh my gosh, life is this, life is that. And then all of a sudden, you're walking to a cage for a title fight. You prayed for it. When I first started fights, I want to be a champion. That's the focus. And what's wrong, buddy boy? And then all of a sudden you're like, all right, like, why worry? There's nothing to be nervous about. There's nothing to be fearful about. You signed up for it. You're happy about life. You're doing what you love. And I'm just like grateful. Like there's after I mean, I even like not take me out of it. There are people around the world who are going through craziness, wars, kids getting involved, and I get to fight, do what I love. I'm on ESPN, just let people at the end of the fight know they're unconditionally loved, and I get to move forward. Right, whether they love fighting or not, I'm blessed, and that's kind of it. It brings me this peace. Like somebody might not even know who I am right after that fight, but the day before, everybody's like, "Oh, you got that $1 million, you got this title fight," and he's calling these guys out. And then the next one is, "Who are you?" And I love that, So that's like kind of just like that peaceful place, and just like knowing like my validation doesn't come from people, but it comes from Christ and it comes from God. Like that's I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.